Hey, good morning, everybody. It's Thursday, March 26, 2026. I, of course, am Hammer, founder of Hammer Solutions, home of great products such as Originator Success, Grab and Go Social, and Rate Sensei. Go check those out. They will help you as an originator to get more business in 2026. If you're going to spend money on something that makes you money. Our stuff will make you money. Remember, you can join me live each and every weekday morning, 9:30 a.m. Eastern time on Facebook or YouTube as I talk about what's going on in the markets, what's going on with rates, and all that good stuff. If you're here this morning, say good morning. If you're watching on the replay, do me a favor. Give me a hashtag replay in the comments. Let me know that you are here. Today, we're going to be talking about resolution or obliteration. Which way are rates going and why forecasting is just basically throwing darts against anything. So whether you think the guy's a genius or you think he's an idiot, one thing that you can't argue on either side is Trump is mercurial, and that is causing volatility and swings in the market. So I'll tell you more about that in a minute. Remember, you don't want to miss a moment of the show. Make sure you're signed up to get our text reminder as I go live. I send out the text with the links, hmmr.io/reminder, or use this cool QR code over here. We don't sell your information or share it with anybody. It's easy peasy lemon squeezy. Also, don't forget to sign up for our email lock advice to your inbox each and every weekday morning. It's just the abridged version of what I talk about here, but it is good and handy to have in case you're going to miss the show at ratelockadvice.com. And those text alerts I talk about through the show are at www.ratetextalerts.com as well. So be sure to check those out. Hello to all of my live folk friends. Good morning. Mr. Ron Siegel says today is National Nougat Day. There is no truth that on my weight loss journey, I will celebrate National Spinach Day. Yeah, I don't blame you. Actually, did you know that spinach has some of the highest traces of chemical pesticides of any of the fruits and vegetables? Yeah, it's pretty bad, all the shit that we eat. So anyway, good morning, y'all. Good morning. Sean Segal wants to know, is mercurial the word of the day? It's the word of every day during the next 3 years. And we've already experienced it for a year. So it sure is. Derek said, did I just hear a new word I've never heard before? Probably not. If you did, then if it's the first time, I probably made it up. So, all right, my friends, let's go ahead and get to the good stuff. I don't have everything in thirds today, meaning you're not going to see it along the bottom of the screen. We're just going to dive in and talk about it today, and because I got it. So starting out, let's take a look at the technicals. You can see here as we zoom in that mortgage-backed securities currently down 23 basis points on the day. Certainly not what you want to be seeing in the morning. Quick recap of what happened yesterday, though. You can see that yesterday, if we do a 5-day, yesterday is everything right here between these two yellow lines. And yesterday, we started the day with a quick spike up, drop down, and basically this was one of the more level days, one of the calmer days that we've had during this whole escapade and this week, when we've been up and we've been down and we've been up and we've been down and we've been up and we've been down and we've been up and we've been, yep, you get it, right? So yesterday was actually a pretty calm day. When we take a look at rate sheets, using Mortgage News Daily as a reference point, we can see that we saw a little bit of improvement in rate sheets. And what we've kind of been seeing, right, is we see a down day, then we see an up day, then we see a little bit of a down day, then we see an up day, then we see a down day. But overall, what we do see happening here, 6.48 is higher than 6.41. And we are seeing rates gradually creep higher. And that's why my advice remains as it has been, to be locking loans. I'd be locking anything closing in the next 30 days. So basically, let's go ahead and adjust this size, and we'll go over what's here. So yesterday was a calm day. Today, you're going to see rate sheets that are worse than what we saw yesterday. Let me get rid of my Partisan here. All right, you're going to see rate sheets that are worse than what we saw yesterday. Unfortunately, that is where we are at this morning. The chances of reprice risk is high. You're very likely to see reprice risk today and see things continue to worsen. Make the screen a little bit lower. Taking a look at the 10-year Treasury yield, we are at 4.39. It is still 4.37 now. Look at that, 4.37. We are still below 4.40, which is nice, right? 4.40 and the sweeping cursive there. However, not really anything that's going to make us feel all that great. So taking a look here, I think we're going to see 4.5 at some point soon, especially if things continue to go the way that they're going. So what's driving rates and pricing has nothing to do with the technicals. That's why you'll notice I don't talk anything about the technical levels, because technical trading is taking a backseat to fundamentals. It's all about the headlines. Right now, the headlines are stocks fall and oil rises as ceasefire hopes wane. When we see talk of resolution, we see rate sheets improve. When we see talk of obliteration, we see rate sheets take a dump. That's exactly what's happening, and that's exactly what's going to keep happening. So stocks joined bonds lower, and oil rose amid growing uncertainty about a ceasefire in the Middle East and concerns that the conflict has roiled global markets is intensifying. Well, yeah, right. So as the war grinds on, each side has kept up attacks, even amid renewed efforts to jawbone. Gotta like that one, right? The other into a resolution. Trump warned Iran to get serious about discussions before it's too late. I think that might actually be here in the Wall Street Journal, where it says, okay, that's that one here. All right, let's go to the main Bloomberg. Trump tells Iran, there it is, to get serious before it's too late. Get serious. Lock in. You lock in. So anyway, it's not going quite the way that Trump thought it was going to go, I don't think. I think he thought that it was going to be a lot easier than it is, and that they would cave a lot faster than they are. Iran is like that annoying kid that gets beat up but never gives in, and the bullies got him in a headlock, and his nose is bleeding, and they're saying, say uncle, and the kid just will not say uncle. I was that kid, by the way. I was a lot smaller when I was younger. So yeah, I used to fight those battles. And then, and Iran not willing to give in. So as we see talks like this, now we're seeing, that he's frustrated. Trump threatens escalation with sides at odds. So we know Trump's kind of MO, right? Again, I don't care if you think he's the best negotiator in the world or if you think he's a total bumbling idiot. He does the same thing every time. He creates a reality distortion field where he tells you exactly what he wants you to believe, whether it's true or not. We've already won this war. We've already won this thing, right? Doesn't matter if it's true or not, what we've won, how we've won, what winning is. None of that matters. What we've won, the best winning you've ever seen, the fastest winning you've ever seen. We all say Trump is stupid. Why does he do that? None of that's true. Steve Jobs used to do it too, but he didn't do it in the same fashion. But that's what Trump does. Now, it's not working. We're not seeing the results that he is telling us that we're supposed to be seeing. So now he'll stamp his feet and we'll talk about boots on the ground. Remember, we are sending Marines over to the Middle East. That means they're prepping for boots on the ground, which is why I am locking loans, because when boots hit the ground, things are going to go to the next level. And it's a very good chance boots are going to hit the ground. I know, Ron, you've said you think it's only the island that would cause it, but I don't think so. I think we're going to see it. So Donald Trump threatened Iran with intensified military action after Tehran rejected Washington's push for peace talks. It's kind of like a rejected love interest, right? You're not interested in me. I'm going to double back on you twice. I didn't like you anyway. Iran is seeking certain guarantees to end the conflict, including the U.S. and Israel won't resume their attacks. That seems pretty, reasonable. And the payment of reparations for war damages. That part is never going to happen. The conflict has led to surging fuel and fertilizer prices, sparked fears of an inflation crisis and worldwide food shortages. Now, again, love him or hate him, Trump is the most powerful man in the world. My belief. He was able to start this conflict, whether you want to say it's a war or not, and he's able to keep us there. This is having repercussions felt around the world, and it will continue to do so. Everybody also tiptoes around him because he's the bully and the guy that nobody wants to piss off, right? And everybody's got one of those in their family. We all know what that's like. So nobody wants to piss him off. Nobody, he doesn't listen anyway. He's belligerent. You just get him out of here. He's drunk, but he's not drunk. He's just like that naturally. He's narcissistic. We get it. So anyway, I think we're going to see more military action. I think rates are going to move higher from here. That could change because Trump is mercurial and the headlines change constantly. As these headlines change, you will see rate sheets change. When we have headlines of resolution, you will see improvement. When we have headlines of obliteration, you will see worsening. That will continue tomorrow. That will continue next week until we get a true resolution. So anyway, hope this one was a good one for you. We are 11 minutes in. I'm going to look at your comments and I'm going to wrap it up on that note. Let's go ahead and just circle up and see what y'all have to say, and we'll talk about that. So let's see. Robert Bashir's, what we don't see is the fives. That is absolutely for sure. And remember, what's really relevant here is you're not going to see rates drop that quickly. We will see an immediate reaction to a true resolution, but we're not going to see rates continue to move all the way back down very quickly. There are lasting effects. Now, if the effects are bad enough and it really were to create recessionary conditions here in the United States later in the year, that would bring us the lowest rates we've seen in a long time. Hopefully we don't go there, though. I really don't want to see a recession. Siegel is pulling out the crystal ball. He says, watch the pattern. He thinks Monday will be a good day to lock. However, I think now is a good day to lock. You may not get the best rates and pricing, but I think it's a necessary thing to do. So Ron said they're prepping for boots on the ground or following the art of the deal, creating massive leverage for negotiations. It could be both. Like I said, whether you want to think that, it's great negotiating or that he has no idea what he's doing. Either way, it fits the same end result, which is our world, which is mortgage rates. And that's kind of what we're talking about here. So Derek liked my analogy about the kid getting beat up and not giving in. Thank you. I think it's very true. So, all right, my friends. Well, I think that's it, man. If there's anything else tomorrow, we'll see what's going on. We do have some actual data coming out tomorrow. I forgot what it is. I think it's consumer sentiment. Let me take a look here and see if I can see what is on the economic calendar. It's not until 10 o'clock anyway for tomorrow, but I don't remember if I see it anyway. So let me see. Economic calendar, move this over. Tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow is consumer sentiment at 10 a.m. So, but it's going to make very little difference. It's all going to depend on exactly where the headlines are. Also, and Ron, talking about what you were saying for Monday, Trump likes to drop bombs on the weekend. And I don't mean bombs like literal bombs because we're doing that anyway. He likes to shake things up on the weekend when the markets are closed. That is absolutely by design. And it allows him to get out there, really work the press and the pressure harder without causing huge market swings and market reactions. And remember, Trump takes the market seriously. The S&P has lost itself for 4 weeks straight. It's on track for losing it a fifth week. So, he takes that stuff seriously. So I think we could see some announcements over the weekend. I think if there are going to be boots on the ground, I think it's going to happen this weekend. And, I think there's a good chance of it. So I would be locking loans. I think we're going to see higher rates next week because of all this. Sean said, what's next after Iran, Cuba, or Greenland? It'll be Cuba. Data doesn't matter anymore. It's all about the war headlines. Absolutely, Tammy. That is absolutely. But that's the way that it's been. So, Ron, if we have to accelerate the bombing, it'll happen over the weekend. There you go. So the markets will see optimism by the market open on Monday. Yeah, and again, Ron, I respect it. That very well could be the way that it goes. I hadn't looked at the comments, but you and I are seeing the same thing. Yeah. That was why you said about Monday. So, all right, my friends. Well, thanks again for joining me. I'm going to wrap it up. I'll see you tomorrow. We'll have more to talk about for sure. Hope you will join me then. Same bat time, same bat channel. Take care, everybody. Make it a great one. Bye-bye.